how are you able to keep focused on winning football games as you do and do throughout the year? When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Marketing come up with that for him. Those were his phrases that he came up with, that he believed in.
Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes, because there's only one thing that counts. Just win. Just win.
Yo. Welcome back to the SC Raiders Talk, aka boy SC, man, aka boy Eric. What's good? Good to see you guys, man. Hope all is well. Blessings to you guys and your families. We back for another live, you feel me? Some things to talk about, some things that have transpired in the last few days. I know the draft is heating up. It's right around the corner in about, you'd say, a good week and a couple days. But shout out to everybody that's in here so far, man. Blessings to you guys and families like always, man. And make sure to always hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Good to see everybody in here. Let me see who's up in the building so far. What's good, SoCal Sal? What's good, SoCal Sal? What's good? My 2 cents, what's good? Good to see you. What's good with Lake Show Raider in the building? What's good, Lake Show Raider? What's good, Navy Vet? What's good? Let me see. Shout out to Alfredo in the building. What's up, Alfredo? Navy Vet. Salute. Kevin Lurker. What's good? Good to see everybody in here, man. Hopefully I don't skip anybody. But shout out to everybody that's coming in slowly but surely. Let me see. Let's get straight into it, right? Let me actually put this up real quick. There we go. Let's get straight into it, right? Obviously, there's the news to talk about. You feel me? Raiders taking Penix at 13. We'll talk about that right now, actually. We'll talk about that right now. So, obviously, one of the news right now in free agency, which was an underrated move. You know, I looked into the move more, and I kind of like it. It kind of looks good. I think we got an upgrade at guard alone already, even if he's not the starter or the starter, right? Obviously, Cody Whitehair came from the Chicago Bears. The last 2 seasons played under Luke Getsy, so he's got that connection there. This looks like a Luke Getsy grab, right? On top of that, he also played 118 NFL starts, not games, but starts. On top of that, he made the Pro Bowl in 2018, and he's been a full-time starter until last year, where he did start 11 times, but played all 17 games. So he's been significantly healthy. He's been pretty healthy. On top of that, he also has started a lot of games and was a Pro Bowler once. Now, can he get back to that? He could. 31 years old. That's still a good prime range for a guard in particular. Guards could go up to 36, 37, 38, 39. You feel me? So 31 is not that bad. And obviously a 1-year deal. To get the exact contract, it's a 1-year deal with a 2.5 million, 1.4 guaranteed, and a max of 3 million. So there's like 500,000 in there that are in incentives. On top of that, the 1.4 million guaranteed will most likely be out of Mark Davis's pocket. So I like this move. Like I said, a better guard than what we had. I already have confidence. It kind of gives you a direction of the draft. Shout out to Raider Resistance. What's good, Prez? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Milka Beezy, what's good? Hopefully I didn't skip anybody. But obviously, Cody Whitehair makes his offensive line better, let alone has Pro Bowl experience. Not only that, has also experience under Luke Getsy, knows the zone scheme. A perfect fit for us, man. It didn't cost too much. Other guards would have cost us probably a good 9 to 15 mil range. Especially how offensive line are starting to get paid a lot because they're one of the most important positions at the end of the day, if not the important position. And obviously we got him for pretty cheap, in my opinion, a pretty good deal. So Cody Whitehair, new Raider. Hope he's going to compete for that guard spot. He's played a center, I believe, as well, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot to look forward to with this guy, man. And he already knows the system, like I said. On top of that, very familiar with our offensive coordinator. Shout out to D Menace, was good. D Menace, good to see Hope Ball as well. So I'm excited, man. It's good to see these things happen, these underrated moves. I like them underrated moves sometimes because they're moves that make our team better and doesn't cost too much and have good talent and that have high potential. And even though he's 31, he's still got high potential, knowing the scheme for now his third year under it, and on top of that, a new, I guess you could say, a new scenery, right? Bears ended up sitting him due to performance, right? So they benched him. So he started 11 games and then benched him, obviously, and it was still the same thing. It looked like a whole bunch of BS that was going on over there. Um, at the end of the day, the Bears were kind of going through a little bit of a phase of what to do. Justin Fields was out for half the year. They were going through it. So, in my opinion, I feel like the whole team was pretty much bad. But, obviously, Cody Whitehair to get benched is a huge thing, right? To get benched is a huge thing, especially on a declining team. In order to get benched, you must be really bad. Um, just looking at some certain things that I've seen so far, the potential was always there, and he started so many games. He started over 118 games, y'all. That means he's got the experience under his belt. And there's a reason he started that many games. It shows you how good he can be. Now, is the Chicago Bears in shambles? Yes. There's a reason why a lot of their players were horrible and a lot of their players are gone. I mean, they traded their quarterback for a bag of chips, in my opinion. So at the end of the day, this is another guy that just was a Luke Getzey guy at the end of the day. And he comes over here to the Raiders, and sometimes you need a new scenery. And I think that's what it is with, obviously, with Cody Whitehair here. So I'm pretty interested to see how it goes. Shout out to Jack Henna. I'm pretty interested to see how this goes. I'm really excited for it. Because like I said, I love these underrated moves with people like Cody Whitehair, right? Even Gardner Minshew. A lot of people didn't give Minshew enough credit. That's a guy that could win you games. Could win you games 100%, and is a veteran and has that experience. And there's been time and time again. I believe, actually, I haven't seen too many people talk about this. When Gardner Minshew was with the Eagles, I believe. They said that he was such a good mentor. He was a good guy to pretty much override the young guys and give knowledge, and that's what it is. And I like that, right? And Cody Whitehair brings that knowledge to the young guys we got on our team, and whatever offensive line we choose on draft day, because we are going to choose an offensive line, right tackle, guard, maybe. I think a right tackle we might go most likely at the draft. So I think that's perfect for us. Bring in a veteran like Cody Whitehair that's had Pro Bowl, right? Made the Pro Bowl. 100+ starts in the NFL. Those are all good, right? Shout out to Robert Penna in the building. It was good, Robert Penna. Good to see you, man. Chappie Boss was good. Salute. Good to see you, man. Hope Ball as well. Shout out to everybody, man. Jack Kenna was good, man. Was good. Good to see everybody coming in slowly but surely, man. And make sure, hey, press that like button. It'll help the live go out there to let people know I go live. I know I haven't gone live for a while. So I could understand why there's not many people here right now. You feel me? But make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new, man. I promise I'm going to be consistent now. I know I always say it, but now I'm going to really do it. If you guys haven't seen the YouTube short I dropped, I'm starting to get into more editing, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. Little shorts, little things here and there. That's going to be, you're practically going to see one of those each day pretty much at the end of the day. So I'm working on that too. So shout out to everybody, man, that's coming in slowly but surely. But of course, if you living under a rock, we have signed a guard/center, Cody Whitehair, veteran, 31 years old, 118 starts, Pro Bowl in 2018, was under Luke Getzey the last 2 seasons. Now he's entering his third season with Luke Getzey into a new scenery, a new atmosphere, and that's going to be very interesting. Shout out to Ray Love. What's good, Ray Love? Good to see you, man. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. Let me see. Let me get to some of the chats real quick while we continue. Simping isn't easy, I know, right? Simping isn't easy. Appreciate that, Jack. And it was good, man. You already know what it is, Ray Love, man. You already know what it is, man. Not to everybody, man, that's in here so far. But of course, that's our new signee. Our new signee at the end of the day there. Moving on here, obviously, something started yesterday, and this is the voluntary off-season, pretty much workout and stuff like that. And based on the videos I have seen, the whole team's there. The whole team is pretty much there. I love to see it. I love to hear the energy from people like Jack Jones, right? He coming in there. He's excited. He's excited to be there. Max Crosby talked to the presser. I don't know if you guys have seen my YouTube on my page, the short I dropped today. Obviously, he talked highly about some of the rookies that are coming out of college, and talked about being a Raider, which pretty much means, to sum it up, a dog. Like when you turn on the film, you see a dog, and that differentiates between players. And that's the type of people Max Crosby be looking for. He named two people in particular in that press conference. He named Latu, the UCLA edge rusher there, that led the college football in sacks. And then obviously he had something to say about Braden Fisk, which Fisk, obviously from Florida State himself, another dog that I like personally for a very long time, actually. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes down. It's going to be very interesting to see how it goes down. Let me do something. There we go. But yeah, so obviously it's good to see everybody in the building. It's good to see the boys back. It's going to be very interesting to see how they go about the rest of the OTAs. Are going to come soon. They're right around the corner, as much as the draft as well next week, which again starts Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, I believe. I should be live for Friday and Saturday. I don't know about round one, but I will for sure post some content on round one. So hopefully, either we trade up for a quarterback, which we'll talk about right now, and stuff like that. Draft talk, you feel me? But obviously, voluntary off season begins. Good to see everybody in there. If you guys haven't seen even the meeting with AP, I like what he said because he practically validated what we all been saying, right? Especially me, what I've been screaming from the rooftop. I said the coaching staff we're building here is to complement each other. And that's exactly what he admitted. He said, "Oh, hey, special teams get better, wide receivers get better, quarterback room get better, all these different things." And then he goes on to say, "You guys know why I brought in somebody like Marvin Lewis? Because AP needs to get better, and that's because they're complementing each other, man." And he practically admitted it to help him get better. He brought in players that could make other players better. He brought in coaching staff that could make other coaching staff better, right? And that's what it's all about. That's what differentiates this coaching staff to everybody else in the AFC West. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how that goes, right? Let me see. Shout out to Raider Paul in the bit. It was good, Raider Paul. Good to see you. Hope all as well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let me see. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys, man. Salute, salute. But obviously, the next one is a curveball. You could say a curveball. Tom Brady returns. I don't know if you guys have seen the other short I dropped about Tom Brady. He was on a podcast, Vic Blends, which if you guys don't know who Vic Blends is, it's a barber that pretty much talks about life, inspirational stuff like that. And obviously, Tom Brady practically was trolling. I think he was trolling, bro. It was pretty funny. But it's something to talk about. He practically said, "Hey, if Michael Jordan could do it, I could do it. I'm always working out. I'm always healthy." Hey, and he named some teams. And Vic in the little podcast there said, "What happens if the Niners, you feel me? They're up and coming team. They just made the Super Bowl." And then Tom Brady goes, or the Raiders, or this team. I forgot the other team he said. And it's something to talk about. Tom Brady to the Raiders. Can he be a player? Can he be a minority owner? I'm most likely gonna go with the minority owner. owner. I don't think he's gonna be a player for us, especially with what we're building. We don't need a guy that's gonna come in here for half a thing. Um, but let me get straight into some of the comments. We're going offensive line or quarterback first round, fam. I still say Talise Fuaga and still get a qualified quarterback that falls or best available in second. And here's the thing, Chappy Boss, I'm cool with that. I've been saying like this is one of the years that the offensive tackle room is really good. And I know people like Fashanu. I like Fashanu. Um, obviously. And then obviously I like Joel, but they're more of left tackles, man. They're left tackles. And at the end of the day, I don't like transitioning from a left tackle to right tackle. So that's why I look at people like JC Latham, Fuaga. But for me, I've been a Fuaga fan. I think he fits perfectly with us. And I just think that he's worth the 13th pick. Now, if we trade up, it might be a quarterback. Obviously, it's Jada Daniels, the only quarterback that we'll ever trade up for. If we see on Thursday, the Raiders have trade alert. If we see that, we know it's gonna 110% be a quarterback, and we know 110% is gonna be Jada Daniels, just because the connections that's the best available to trade up for the Raiders fit. At the end of the day, Caleb Williams is still a good quarterback, right? Shout out to Sinister. Let me give a shout out to everybody that's coming in so far. Shout out to Sinister. What's good, Sinister? Raider Paul says, ASC, you stay in LA? I don't stay in LA no more, but I am around the area, if that makes sense. I used to be in LA. I grew up in LA. I was born in LA, all that stuff. But obviously, I'm not in LA no more. Shout out to Sinister, but I'm around there. I'm for sure around there. Shout out to Sinister coming in, man. Shout out to everybody coming in slowly but surely, man. Alfredo, everybody. Salute. Good to see you guys, man. Make sure to hit that like button. It'll push out the live for more people to come on in. I'm sorry for not going live in the last 2 weeks, pretty much. I did go live last week, but it was only like a 30-minute live, and I pretty much it was something small. It wasn't too big. So wanted to come back on my schedule because I said Tuesday 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, and then Thursdays obviously at around 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is the 2-for-1. So yeah, family doing good. I went to dinner with my boys in Lake LA. That's good, man. That's good. Enjoy family time, man. Because remember, life is too short, y'all. So always tell your loved ones you love them and spend time with them and stuff like that. So moving on here, obviously going back to the Tom Brady topic. Smoke screen, we don't need them, to keep it simple. But now let's talk about some draft. Let's talk about some draft, y'all. Let's talk about some draft that's coming up next week. Raiders pick a quarterback at 13. It's starting to emerge that Michael Penix might be worth a first-round pick in the first half of the draft, which is very interesting. And I've been saying that when healthy, Michael Penix Jr. has always been one of my favorite quarterbacks in this year's draft. Even that national championship, even though, yes, he missed a couple throws in the first half, a small amount in the second half. Yes, he lost it, but it wasn't his fault. I like players that when it's crunch time, they perform. And when in that national championship, seeing him out there with hurt ribs, grabbing his ribs after every throw, and still making perfect, accurate throws, and the players can't catch, that is not on him. And that really made me pretty much like him even more as a player. So for me, obviously, Michael Penix Jr. is a really good, talented quarterback with a high-end potential that would look good with us. But I do not think he's worth a 13th at this moment due to the injuries. And shout out to JB in the building. What up, JB? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. But obviously, I am not a fan of getting a quarterback at 13. Unless magically Jaden Daniels goes all the way down to 13 some way, somehow. I believe that at 13th, if you stick it, you get a tackle, and then if it's possible, trade up into the late first or early second, and you'll go get your quarterback of the future. Because at the end of the day, if it's Jaden Daniels, he's gonna fight for a starting job, just like the other two people on the team, Gardner Minshew and AOC. Right? We can have our opinions about those guys, but at the end of the day, Antonio Pierce is opening it up and being like, "Hey, you guys compete." Now, As far as the 13th spot, Fuaga, obviously, man. I think you get your future right tackle. We've been missing a pretty good right tackle for a long time so far, for a couple years now, and we need that, especially for whichever quarterback is under helm. Whatever quarterback is under center, that's the people I want. That's the type of people I want, right? So obviously, a right tackle would do the job for the Raiders, and having that with Colton Miller on the other side, still young, and then you have probably Dylan Parham, Andre James, and then maybe Cody Whitehair be there, or you shove Thayer Munford on that guard position. That looks like a really good offensive line, a better offensive line than last year for sure, for sure. Don't want Bo Nix and have a feeling that could be the pick. Now with Bo Nix, it's interesting, right? Bo Nix is not a bad player. I won't say a horrible player, but when I think of team, how do I say this? When I look at team fits for these players, I don't see Bo Nix as a Raider. He just doesn't scream Raider to me, right? And I'm starting when I really analyze these players, I analyze them in a viewpoint of the Raiders. I don't analyze them in general, right? At the end of the day, I do watch every single tape. I have the film. I'm researching. I'm making sure I got my facts straight when I talk about certain players. I double check my everything from my notes and everything, and I double check everything to make sure that I got the right idea about these guys. And when it comes down to it, I think of a majority as who would fit with the Raiders because obviously, as of right now, the Raiders. How do I say this? The Raiders are building a culture, building the culture back that we have lost for a very long time. So I want people that fit the culture. I don't want people that don't fit the culture. And for me, obviously, some of those people, when I watch some tape, are obviously guys that have Max Crosby said yesterday, like Braden Fisk, right? Latu. But I also like people like Fuaga, JC Latham, right? People that are dogs. I like Blake. Um, I believe his name is Blake Fisher, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, I gotta double check that. I had it the other day. I might be dumb, but yeah, you feel me. So obviously, that's somebody that I would take in the second round too. If you want to go quarterback in the first round, I talked about Blake Fisher before. Blake Fisher, right tackle for Notre Dame, zone scheme fit perfectly with the Raiders, man. And that's what I'm saying, right? I'm looking at all these guys that just fit the Raiders, and that's how I'm going about these players. And for me, Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback for the Raiders. The second best quarterback for the Raiders is Michael Penix. It's one and it's two. Whatever opinion you have on any other quarterback, that's obviously overall, right? Obviously, Caleb is in the top five. Obviously, Drake May, you could say, is in the top five. But obviously, Jaden Daniels is number one for the Raiders, and Michael Penix is number two because of fit and who he's going to come in with, right? At the end of the day, Jaden Daniels is a really good, obviously going to draft talk, obviously. Jaden Daniels obviously is a very good double-edged sword. And what I mean by double-edged sword, he can move with his feet, but he could also throw the ball. The question is he can't do too much running when it comes to the next level at the end of the day. And that all has to do with Antonio Pierce getting everybody straight, man. And for a damn fact, Antonio Pierce got the team playing for him, running through a wall for him, and getting these players in line. And that's why any rookie that comes into the Raiders, I'm excited about. 100%. Shout out to everybody, man. Avakazi Raider in the building. What's good, Avakazi? Jack Kenneth Fisher does excite me as a Notre Dame fan. Watched all his games, man. He's a good second round pick, man. Shout out to Raider Squid. Been a minute. Always good, man. I hope all is good with you too, Squid. I appreciate you coming on by, man. Good to see everybody coming in slowly but surely. Let's talk draft. I want a reason to buy a new Raider jersey. I'm in Oregon, and my middle son graduated from OSU. So let's get Fuaga go Bees. Hey, congratulations to your son, and hey, congratulations for you too, man. That's probably a proud moment for you. So hey, hell yeah, man. You already know Fuaga, my number one tackle for the Raiders, right? Shout out to Raider Alex. What's good, Raider Alex? Good to see you. Hope all's well. Oregon State fans in the building. Fuaga if we don't get quarterback. And that's what I was thinking too, right? Fuaga is the best fit for the Raiders tackle wise. And just for everybody coming on by, I was just explaining that when I analyze these players in the draft, I truly analyze them, right? I have my separate list of the NFL in a sense overall, and then I have my list for the Raiders. And for me, the top two quarterbacks for the Raiders is Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, 1 and 2. Now, for the tackle spot, it's Fuaga, Latham, Blake Fisher. Blake Fisher in the second round, the other two guys in the first round. And then obviously I have some running backs that I have in mind too, right? Um, that I like, right? I like people like Braylon Allen. I like people like Bucky Irving. I like people like Quorum, but I think Quorum might most likely go with the Chargers just because Eckler left. So I would say he's more of a Charger and with that Jim Harbaugh stuff and all that. But for me, obviously, there's other people, right? Jalen Wright. And I could go on and on and on about all these guys, right? But I think that's the best for the Raiders, obviously. And then let me bring up my notes so I could talk about some other players that I wanted to talk about at the end of the day. Some wide receivers that I was looking at recently has been people like Devontae Walker from UNC, a guy that has very high motor. He flashes elite wide receiver, y'all. If you look at this guy's tape and I do believe we need a wide receiver, y'all. I believe we do need a wide receiver just because we lost Renfro. And I think we need a slot receiver too, but I think we need a receiver overall. And I think that the best thing we could do with our wide receiver core is and I like this rotation right here is Jacoby Myers and Devontae Adams to rotate at the slot. Now you guys may say Devontae Adams at a slot. If you guys looked at what he did in Green Bay at the slot, you would be very, very impressed. But at the end of the day, Devontae Adams is one of the best receivers in the NFL. At the end of the day, he's gonna look good wherever he goes, right? But the slot receiver is where he mostly has some of his explosive plays. So I like him at slot, rotating with Jacoby Myers there, and then obviously Trey Tucker on the outside, and then whatever receiver we bring in, right? At the end of the day, some interesting people that obviously you feel me. Let me see. Let me get to some of the comments real quick. Let me flip to this. Let me get to some of the comments. Graduated 3 years ago on academic scholarship engineering. Oh, hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Fuaga is a dog. That's a fact. Shout out to Raider Alex. Fuaga is the best fan at number 13. Facts SC. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. I'm trying to get to everybody's comment. Jordan Travis going to Anthony Guild will be available. I mean, those are the two guys, right? And I see what Alex says there, Anthony Guild. Hopefully I said that right. I'd be bad with names, yo. I'm sorry. I'd be bad with names. In the late rounds, he got speed, man. And I think you can never go wrong with late rounds. You can find a gem, right? And I talked about some players before when it came down to the draft, which I'm gonna drop those YouTube shorts next week. So stay tuned. I'm editing them, where I kind of talk about some of these first, second, third, fourth, fifth round picks at the end of the day. And hey, I got some very interesting players, man, that I had on there. And let me actually bring it up. I don't have it no more saved, but let me see if I can find it here. Let me see if I can find them here. Let me see. Give me a second, yo. I don't think I have it saved. Give me a second. Oh, let me fix my lighting real quick for you guys. There we go. Let me go to my notes. So obviously Blake Fisher I talked about right now. Let me actually fix this lighting, bro, because this lighting is bad. I don't know why my lighting is bad right now. I don't know. I'll get to it right now. Let me see. My lighting is so bad right now. There we go. Much better, right? Much better on the lighting. Much better. So some players I talked about before. Jalen Wright from Tennessee. I like him for the running back core there. That is in the later rounds. Obviously, third round around there. I like him because he complements everybody else and stuff like that. Then I talked about Kyrie Jackson from Oregon, the cornerback there. I like him a lot. Impressive size and length for a cornerback to go into the next level. He does need some improvements with some of his footwork, but obviously that could easily be put on. And he's a developmental cornerback, man, and he'll look good. And I still think we're gonna bring in a veteran corner, y'all. I still think we're gonna bring in a veteran corner, and you get a guy like that with Jacory Bennett that are gonna learn from these guys. I love that, man. I love that a lot. I talked about Christian Mahogany, right? Um, Obviously, that's another guy that's a guard that has played the right guard position. I've watched some of his games, like the Clemson game in 2021. I watched the Florida State game in 2023, and I liked him a lot, man. He overcame. I like people that have a huge injury and then overcome it and play at a high level and play really good the next season, and he did exactly that. Obviously, he has potential to be a high level starter, and he's like one of those gems that I've been looking at later on in the draft, around the 5th round, day 2, day 3 for sure, day 3 type of guy. And then Bo Lemer, which I kind of messed up his name before when I talked about him. I call him Books, but he's Bo. And you guys were, I know some people were telling me. So Bo there, obviously another guy that has 12 starts at center, also started at the guard position, has that versatility, really good in the zone blocking, which is perfect for us because that's our scheme at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, shout out to Auntie Six. What's good, Auntie Six? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Slowly but surely. Just getting to some draft talk. You feel me? Some draft talk. Let me actually do this real quick. Give me a second. I actually didn't change the date of this real quick. Give me a second. 4/16. There we go. Put it back on screen for you guys. There we go. So obviously those are a couple guys that I've been looking at. What you guys think, man? What you guys think in the later rounds? So first round is established, either quarterback, tackle, most likely. What you guys feel about the second, third, fourth round? What are your guys' draft sleepers? Your guys' draft sleepers. Let me know a couple of names that we'll talk about and stuff like that. Shout out to We the People. I want everybody involved. I want to see what's in your guys' mind and stuff like that for it. And then I'm gonna still name some people for you guys, man. I like Muhammad Kamara from Colorado State. I ended up watching this film 3 weeks ago, I believe. And I talked about it last week, which you'll see. I'm cutting up some YouTube shorts for you guys so you guys can see yourselves too. Um, at the end of the day, Malcolm Kuntz is a heck of a player. And we have 38 players on contract, y'all. So next year, we got to re-sign a lot of key players that are on that contract, and one happens to be Malcolm Kuntz. Now, I talked about this with the Zamir White situation. When we drafted Zamir White, it wasn't a total replacement for Josh Jacobs, but it was somebody that was going to give us leverage when it came down to re-sign contract talks. Now, look at Josh Jacobs left. Now Zamir White emerges, right? Exactly like how I said it. Leverage. Now, I think an edge rusher is a must, especially a guy that is in the later rounds. A gem would look good under Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins. Getting that knowledge from these veterans and guys with high motors and getting good knowledge from some of the best to do it on the coaching staff, like Antonio Pierce won the Super Bowl as a player, a linebacker, played the defense, was a linebackers coach, made these linebackers play at a high level last year. And then obviously you have now the newest addition that is the assistant head coach, which by the way made one of the best defenses in recent time in Marvin Lewis. And you bring back Patrick Graham, you still got other people like Rob Ryan and stuff. You got all the defensive staff you need in order to bring a potential defensive rookie in and make him reach his potential. And that's why I'm excited, especially for the defensive side of the ball. I'm excited for all rookies that come in, but on the defense side of the ball, I'm very excited because we have the coaching staff to mold these guys. And the thing is with the draft, it's never 100%. You could go up to a quarterback that is the best of the best, and he might not turn out good because either he don't got the right steer, you feel me, got the right path, right? I think coaching staff is what plays a huge part in the draft by not only choosing potential or choosing talent, but also molding these guys and sending them to the path on reaching their potential. As you see with the Jets, Yes, you could say the quarterbacks they have been asked, but let's be honest, the Jets have ruined a lot of players in recent times. They have ruined a lot of players, and specifically the quarterback position, because why? They're a team that ruined them. Look at us. Some of these guys that have potential left, they're not, and they're doing better somewhere else. It's weird, right? It's weird, but that's how it goes. If you don't have the right coaching staff, your players are not going to reach their potential. Some may, some that have raw talent, that are very talented, that know what to do well. But sometimes some of these younger guys need some molding, need some direction, need somebody to believe in them. And that's exactly what Antonio Pierce is a guy that's going to believe in these players and say, hey, you messed up, fix that. And these players are like, hell yeah, I'm going to fix it, and they do it. We're seeing a lot of players come out now saying, "Hey, I'm working on this. I'm working on what I need to do." For example, our quarterback AOC, right? AOC's biggest problem is his footwork, being mobile, being able to go outside the pocket. He talked about it in the press conference. He said, "Hey, I know what I have to work on." He practically said the coaching staff told me what I had to work on. I know what I have to work on, and I'm going to work on that specific thing, because once I work on that specific thing, my fault is gone. The fault is gone. And he knows that footwork, he knows that his position is under fire and he needs to play at a high level. And how do you do that? Is cleaning up your faults. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to make mistakes. But at the end of the day, it's how you respond to it is what makes you the best player around, right? I think of people like Max Crosby that had a really struggling time in his rookie season as far as over pursuing. And now, as time went by, he fixed that. Boom, is getting better and better every year, putting in work, being there early, being there late, putting in the work, doing everything he can to make sure that he plays at a high level. He talked about being a dog, and that's what he wants to do. He always sets goals for himself, and I'm pretty sure his next goal, he hasn't announced it, but so far from his trajectory of how he's had his goals, he wants that Super Bowl. He wants that Lombardi. And I'm pretty sure that energy picks up by other players. And that's why Max Crosby is a perfect player as a blueprint for these other guys. And you hear it from some of these edge rushers, right? People like Latu, people like Fisk, people like Byron Murphy. These guys have came out publicly in the press conferences at the combine and said, a player that I look up to and that I try to work on my stuff and try to get that Mamba mentality is from Max Crosby. When's the last time any player we had was getting praised by rookies, by guys that are in the NFL draft, y'all, and multiple of them, not just one person, multiple of them. That's happening now. And now Max Crosby returned the favor, practically said Latu, Fisk are two guys that are dogs, that he has been seeing tape, that he's been eyeing and stuff like that. Max Crosby is going to have a say in some of these defensive players, man. And I love the Raider way, man. I just like that they're going to build this culture and they're basing it on the Raider way, how it's supposed to be, that we have lost for a very, very long time. A very long time, actually. So it's gonna be exciting to see what they do. It's gonna be very exciting to see what they do. Shout out to everybody coming in here, man. Hope all is well with everybody. South Dakota Saint Jack Rabbits running back Isaiah Thomas. That kid is a dog. He'd be another gem in the Getsy style offense. Getsy runs the rock. He does, and it's its own scheme as well, right? And Isaiah Thomas is somebody that is in the later rounds. You can't go wrong with some of these gems. Some of the best players have came out in the later rounds, y'all. And that's what's perfect about the draft is you don't know who's gonna be a good player and who's not. We could give an evaluation and we may be right. Some of us is right, very right, and some of us are very wrong at certain times. And at the end of the day, nobody could really truly dictate every single move that gets made in the draft, every single round, every single pick, because you don't know who's going to end up falling into the right system. That's one of the most important things as a draftee, falling into the right system that suits your talents, your potential, and coaching staffs that believe in you. We got to remember we got a new OC, and it's the offense. It's traditionally here and Telesco have the same vision. And that's a fact, man. It's its own scheme, a very West Coast offense, stuff like that. And he's gonna tweak it a little. He's gonna add some plays, obviously, because he's going to a new team. He can't use the same Chicago Bears playbook and bring it over here because people already know it. It's gonna be some tweaks, but that's where other people come in. Man, shout out to All Eyes on G was good. Jack Kenna was good. Please help me out. Who the Cowboys defensive end who works out with Max and having issues with the Cowboys? What you mean? What you mean by that? Shout out to Cool Kev, All Eyes. I don't know. Shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Let me see. But obviously, the draft is really next week, pretty much, and I'm excited. I don't know about you guys. There's a lot of content that's gonna come to the channel, man. And I'm gonna go back to the schedule, y'all. Consistency is key, and I haven't been consistent recently, so I need to get on that. I need to get that going and stuff like that. Obviously, we're gonna see what happens. Obviously, so um, I'm excited. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. If anybody has any questions or anything, man, let's talk about it. Or you're talking about Micah Parsons. I don't know the whole situation there, obviously. I really don't know the whole situation. I don't know what's going on over there. So yeah. Yeah, not sure. Not sure at all. Not sure at all. Right on, Avive. Have a good time while you're at work, man. Yeah, facts. What's your question, Jack Kenna? What's your question? What's your question? I think we all excited to see. Let me get to the comments. I think we are all excited to see a NFC North OC coach the West Coast offense. It's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be very interesting to see. Eric, what position do you think for what? For what round we pick in the draft? As far as overall, like the whole draft on what positions we might pick? Is that what you're saying? I just want to make sure I got the question right, right? Let's see. Da, 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 da. Let me see. While I wait for that clarification. Yeah, let me see. First, quarterback tackle. I think those are two of the main positions I would think in the first round. I don't see us going for a running back. I don't see us going for a wide receiver. I don't see us going for a tight end in the first round. I don't even see us going for a D tackle or edge rusher or a cornerback or a safety unless some cornerback like um Dijon from Missouri is there, right? But I highly doubt it's going to be there at the 13. So I truly highly believe that quarterback tackle. If we trade up, it will be a quarterback. If we don't trade up, it'll most likely be a tackle, in my opinion. At the end of the day, it starts with the trenches, and that's where I think it's going to be. Now, obviously, if they're going to make a call, and I could guarantee this 110%, a call will be made on draft day, and it's going to be, hey, I want to trade up if the pieces fall into place. And what I mean by the pieces fall into place, Jaden Daniels goes down from first to the third pick, skips the Commanders. The Commanders go with Drake May and Washington. I mean, Washington goes with, yeah, obviously Drake May. And then you have Chicago going with Caleb. If Jaden Daniels falls to 3 or even 4, I think the Raiders will make a call. Will that trade be accepted? We don't know, obviously, right? But the main thing is the call will be made. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they go about it. Shout out to Navy Vet was good. You think we trade up, man? And I think it's a high possibility. Like I said, man, a call. I think a call will be made. I think a call 100% will be made. Like 100%. SC and the Nation, would you guys trade our pick number 13 and Coons for Michael Parsons? Stick with the Raiders got in the Mac trade. The problem with that is Michael Parsons is a very expensive player, bro, that needs the bag, and I'm just not going for that. I'm just not going for that at all. I want a younger guy that's gonna come in of a need, and I think the edge rusher right now is not a need. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Slowly but surely, man. I don't know why YouTube's messed up, man. I see a lot of you guys typing, but it only shows that two people. I don't know. This whole YouTube stuff is messed up on my end. I don't know what's going on. SC, let me already said that. Gotta move up no matter what, in my opinion. And I think they're gonna make the call, Milkabeezy. I really think they're gonna make the call. Shout out to All Eyes on G. Penix or Knicks? Who you got, SC? Penix, 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 Penix. 100% Penix. 110% Penix, 200% Penix, 300% Penix, and so on and so on. I think Penix is the better player, in my opinion. I think Penix is the better fit for the Raiders. And just when Penix is healthy without the injuries, man, he's a goddamn good quarterback, bro. I know, right? It shows two people only, and it also is YouTube. It's YouTube because look how many people are typing. That is not two people to me. You feel me? I don't know what's going on. Now it says 0. I don't know what my whole YouTube is tweaking. Something about my YouTube tweaking. Um, YouTube bugging. Just noticed that. Yeah, it's crazy. Penix be off the board before 13th. I don't. Cool, Kev. You know what the thing is? 2 weeks ago, I would have called you crazy, but now I'm not calling you crazy. I really truly believe that Penix is picking up a lot of steam. The Penix train is on the trail. I'm hearing a lot of things about him moving up into the first round. Like people have him as one of the top picks right now. And we heard Bo Nix being going up top last year. I believe this, right? I think 5 quarterbacks would be chosen in the first round. Caleb, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy. Minimum 5. Minimum 5. I wouldn't doubt it if it's 6. I would not doubt it, and that's Penix. I would not doubt it if it's 6 quarterbacks picked in the first round. I would not doubt it at all. At all. I'm telling y'all, we should call Chicago at pick 9 to move up for Penix. I don't see. Here's the thing. It's difficult, right? I think for some reason, you know what I think it is? I think it's the fact that Michael Penix's injury might drop him in the draft. I think people have him high enough. I think he will be there in the mid round. I think Milkabeezy. I would not doubt it in the mid round, like 15 to 25 range. I think Michael Penix will be there, and I think I could see a vision of the Raiders trading up into the late first to get somebody like Michael Penix. I think we're gonna make moves. I think 110% the Raiders will. And I will say this once again, I'll say it continuously. The Raiders will trade, whether it's in the first round, second round, but I predicted 2 second-round picks. We're gonna end up with 2 second-round picks day 2. Move to 8 or 9 if you want to secure Penix. That's a fact. JJ Mack could be the one to slip down the draft. JJ McCarthy, it could be one to slip down, right? Guys, it was a cheap trade thought. Yes, Parsons would cost, but I feel working with Max Wilkerson, he would take a cheaper deal. Not saying the Raiders should do it, but fun idea. I think the Cowboys are set on them, man. I think the main thing with the Cowboys is they know they got to stay young, and Michael Parsons is the young guy, right? The young guy at the end of the day. So we gotta see what happens. Shout out to the Raider Room. Raider Room was good. Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Shout out to you, man. But obviously, we're talking about the draft right now, y'all. For everybody that doesn't know, but I do think we're gonna trade. Whether it's in the first round, second, I do think we're gonna trade up, y'all. 100%. And I think the call will be made to get traded up. If Jaden Daniels falls to 3 or 4, I do believe the Raiders will make a call. And I ain't gonna lie, if they ask for 2 first rounders and a third and a fifth, I would do it, y'all. 2 first rounders, I would do it. 3 first rounders, I don't know. I don't know about 3 first rounders, y'all. And hear me out. 3 first rounders is kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. You're practically saying that you're guaranteeing a Super Bowl this year, pretty much. And that's what the Rams did. They gave up all their first rounders. They ended up buying a Super Bowl pretty much. But for me, I think 3 first rounders, I would not do it, but 2 first rounders for sure. I would do it for 2 first rounders. Minimum. Right. Obviously. But now, as we've seen, draft trades are OD. They're over very reacted, bro. I think the difference between a player trade for picks and a pick for pick is way different. Some players are going for a bag of chips. The Niners got Christian McCaffrey for a bag of chips. You have Stephon Diggs going for a bag of chips. Roquan Smith for a bag of chips. I could keep going down the line of all these people that left for a bag of chips, but when it comes to the draft, 3 first rounders, 2 second rounders for a first round pick. It's ridiculous. But it's because these are the future of your team. And the Texans is a perfect example of building through the draft and then adding veterans. That they literally shoved the blueprint there, right? But for me, obviously, I would love to stay at 13 if it's gonna cost a lot to move up in the first round. I would stay where I'm at just because I like the tackles, man. I want a future right tackle. I think no matter who's under center for us, I think they would work good under a good offensive line. The trenches is the most important thing. The offensive line makes the receivers look better, the quarterback look better, the tight end look better, the running back look better. Why, you may ask, is because the offensive line could buy time for a wide receiver to get open. The offensive line could buy time for the running back to have a gap in the in the offensive line for him to run through and pretty much score a touchdown or get these first downs and stuff like that. A good offensive line protects for the quarterback to sit back in the pocket, have a good pocket presence, and have time to throw the ball and execute a play. And then obviously the defensive line makes everybody behind them better, makes the linebackers better, cornerback, safety, same thing with them. A good defensive line that gets a lot of pressure, the cornerbacks don't have to do much and they can make plays on the ball. The quarterback will screw up and make a bad read, boom, picked off, or the safety pick off, right? Good coverage makes it for they don't have to run around all the field. Obviously, there's other things like even the linebacking group being able to in run plays have a gap through the defensive line for them to run through blitzes, stuff like that. Pressure, most important things, man. Shout out to Anthony Estrada in the building, man. What up to Space Beast? What's good? Panics or trade down? I think Fuaga at 13, Space Beast. Me personally, Fuaga at 13. But if you have a chance to get Penix and trade up for Penix in the late first, I would do it. You get a Fuaga, you get a JC Latham, whatever, a tackle pretty much on the tackle spot, obviously at 13, and then you trade up to get your quarterback. I'm cool with that too. No matter what, there's a lot of good right tackles in this draft. I could name you three right now: JC Latham, Fuaga in the first round, then Blake Fisher in the second round from Notre Dame. Those are all guys that fit the Raiders, man. And at the end of the day, that's one of the most important things for me for the offensive line to be good this year. Let me see. He said, as long as we don't draft Taj Washington, we should be good. Why are you hating on my boy Taj Washington, man? That's my USC guy right there, man. That's my USC guy right there. Come on, man. Don't hate on my guy. Man, Mark Davis gave AP permission to trade up. We all know AP is getter, go getter. He's going to try so hard for Dance, and we only have like two, maybe three draft picks this draft. We'll see what happens, man. If they could pull off a trade whoo, that is really good for us and we win, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'm very cool with that. Okay, Tyler Guyton. Okay. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting pick right there, Space Beast. You think Tyler Guyton and Peyton Wilson is better than Fuaga? Okay, okay. Hey, we all got our opinions. I like that though. Tyler Guyton's another guy that is in the later rounds. That's a good pick there. I could name you another one. Amarius Mims from Georgia, the 6'6" behemoth of a person, man. It's it's crazy, bro. And let me actually look at my notes from him real quick with Mims. Mims, I mean, can I say it all with his I mean, the guy right here, a 507 40-yard dash, pretty damn good. His size and build is good for the next level. A very good, powerful run blocker. A good anchor there. He is a very raw, talented guy, and that could be a knock on him as well, being that raw. But he's got a lot of things, man. He does have a little bit of work to do on the footwork, but it's another guy that I want to throw out there in the later rounds. SC, let me see. SC, since Penix is a lefty, the Raiders need a right tackle. Basically, the Raiders need a right tackle, period. Yeah, pretty much. The right tackle needs period, right? Right. It's period, right? um, shout out to everybody coming in, man. I appreciate all the love and support, man. Right now, my YouTube is tripping, y'all, because it shows that there's only 0 to 1 person. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with it, but um, you know. Watch Drake May fall right into our lap. If Drake May falls, I'll be very surprised. I'll be very surprised, right? But there's always that one quarterback that falls for some reason, right? Shout out to Ray Love. There's way more people than two watching, and it took like took my like away and says it's been exhausted. Won't let me re-like your video. I don't know what's going on, bro. It's so weird. It's so weird. Punch in the NFL draft buzz, the player's name, quick info, resource, combine stats. Or you look at the NFL draft buzz. I know what that is. Pretty good. Maybe like 10, 15 minutes away. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Ray Love. I don't know what's been going on with my YouTube recently. It's been really weird. It's been really weird. I don't know. I have to fix that. I don't know what's going on. I have to find out what's going on. If it's like a if my channel is getting like, I don't know, striked or something or stuff like that. I don't know what it is, bro, but I gotta go check it out for some reason. Cause a lot of people I've been getting a lot of people. See, that's what I'm saying. See? Spaceby says it says I'm not subscribed, then I click subscribe and then it does it. I don't know I don't know if it's just a YouTube all day today. Did anybody else that went live, did they have the same problem? Do you guys know? Let me see. YouTube news. I don't know. I don't see anything. I don't know what's going on with it. Does anybody know like if any other people had, you feel me? Anybody else had thing? Anybody else had this similar problem? Yes? Is that yes to me, Ray Love? Or is that yes to somebody else? I kept getting kicked out the live too. You kept getting kicked out the live? Can't subscribe? That's so weird why YouTube's tweaking. That's so weird. I don't know. It could be my streamer maybe because before it messed up my YouTube before. I remember one time I set up a live, right? It was recent. I set up a live and it didn't even pop up on my YouTube at all. So I think I have to see what's going on. I hope this doesn't continue happening because a lot of people now that people can't even subscribe or even are subscribed now they got unsubscribed. Now they're not gonna get my noties, man. They're not gonna get nothing. They're not gonna even know I'm live. So it's gonna be very difficult to see what's going on. But I'll check it out after this live. I have to fix that issue. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Hope all is well. The Sacramento Kings versus Warriors starting in 2 minutes. I know. Oh, my Lakers are playing right now. Let me actually check that real quick before I head on out here. We're winning so far, 104 to 100. Okay, okay. Damn, this is gonna be tough. Anyways, but yeah, we gotta see what happens. Obviously, if you're new here, okay, another live is having the same issue. Okay, I thought it was only me. I thought it was only me. For sure. Thank you, Ray Love. Thank you, thank you, thank you, bro. That makes me feel more better because I was panicking, bro. I don't want. I'm like, you feel me? I don't want things to go down. But yes, that's good. That's good. That's good. It says I'm not subscribed to anybody anymore. Damn, it's to anybody. YouTube must have got freaking hacked or something. But hey, make sure, like once YouTube is good and stuff like that, make sure to subscribe back, man, and stuff like that, and all that stuff, and hit that like button too for me, man, and go check out the YouTube Shorts. I'm starting to make some edits, man. I'm starting to get into that, really work on my craft. I just got my associates in that I wanted to say, man. I just got my associates in communication, man, and all that. If anybody knows, that's been the dream of mine. Why I do YouTube in the first place is to really be in the sports world and work in the sports industry. And this podcast is one of those ways to put out that content and stuff like that. So guys, make sure Instagram, a lot of daily posts coming soon on Instagram, YouTube, my YouTube Shorts, man. If you guys haven't checked it out, a press conference I dropped in Tom Brady's podcast too, go check it out. But on that note, there's pretty much nothing else, man. Just I need to fix this YouTube stuff, or like you said, it's another live too. So I'm gonna go see what's going on. Probably look it up, see what's going on. Hopefully it registers, because it's gonna really mess up everything, right? And if it's making a lot of people unsubscribe, that means everybody's gonna lose a lot of subscribers, right? Um, I'm finally gonna get my feet wet with this stuff on Friday at my family's restaurant. They were watching the Dodge game and invited me on their podcast on Thursday. Okay, hell yeah, man. Hey, DM me or something. I want to check it out, man. I want to check it out. It says you gotta take off your. These are my signature, man. It's what makes the SC. But like, obviously, I can easily take it off. You feel me? But these are my like. You feel me? You could say gimmick or whatever the you want to call it, right? Let's see. I hope the Lakers win versus Pelicans. Kings swept the Lakers, and Pelicans swept the Kings. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go with this. But shout out to you guys, man. Blessings to you guys and your families. And I appreciate you guys for being here, man. I hope YouTube fixes it. But I appreciate you guys for being here, man. Again, Thursday, y'all. Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. 2 for One Nation podcast with my boy Twan. We're gonna talk about all things draft, and it'll be officially that day, the draft, 1 week until the draft. And on top of all of that, I'm gonna do daily content for you guys on YouTube. And next week, starting on Instagram, so you don't want to miss it. It's in the description. Go look it up and go look at my recent YouTube shorts as well, man. I'll greatly appreciate it. But I appreciate all the love, respect, and everybody that is new here, that subscribed. I appreciate you. And if YouTube is messing up right now, check later. Hopefully they fix it and subscribe, man. I do Tuesday, Thursday lives, Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern, and on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe, depending on the news. Next week, I'll be live for day 2, day 3 for the NFL draft, maybe day 1, and obviously YouTube daily, YouTube shorts, edits, and all that. So that I'm going to drop daily for you guys, man. So on that note, y'all, the grind is real. The grind is back. SC Raiders Talk is back, man. Tell a friend to tell another friend to tell a friend, and hit that like button. It's probably going to take out your like button because the YouTube is messed up right now. But keep hitting that like button, man. Check it out later on. Drop your comments down below on who you think we should choose on the first round, second, and third. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a question. First round, second round, third round. I want to know you guys' first round pick, second round pick, third round pick for the Raiders if we stood and did not trade up. What would be your picks? And tell me some names, and I'll comment instantly once you guys there help with the algorithm. And on that note, y'all, smash that like button, like Chappie Boss said. Them. I appreciate everybody that's new here. I've seen some couple new faces, man, and some old faces that came in, man. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Blessings to you guys and your families, man. Remember, tough to never last, but tough people do. Everything went blank. Hey, I feel that, Raider P, but hey, it should be fixed soon. And just hit that like button later, man, and come on in the comments and let me know your first round pick, second round pick, third round pick, please, man. So on that note, y'all, see you guys Thursday, man. Thursday, and stay tuned for tomorrow. Content getting dropped every single day. YouTube shorts, all that, edits, and I'll appreciate that love and support, y'all. So on that note, again, blessings to you guys and families. Touch on that, but tell people do. Shout out to Raider Rebel coming in, man, late. But Quentin Mitchell, I like Quentin Mitchell a lot, man. It's one of my highest quarterbacks there, man. But make sure to type that in the comments after the live, bro. I'm practically leaving. Type that in. I wanna conversate with you over the draft in the comment section. I appreciate you guys, man. On that note, Thursday, y'all. Thursday and daily content every day, man. Tough time never lasts, but tough people do, and you guys are also tough people, man. And YouTube is tripping right now, so hopefully it's fixed soon. And make sure you hit that like button and comment down below your first pick, second, and third for the Raiders if we were not to trade up. And you already know, like always, man, how we ended off. SC Raiders Talk, aka boy Eric, man, and I'm out. Peace.
Is the will to win. Is the will to win.
Your commitment to excellence